4:06 in the afternoon. Scott BR on the Mighty 1090. Coach Steve Fisher of the Aztecs on the way in just a matter of moments. San Diego State with a big win this past weekend. Saturday afternoon, 88-75 over Nevada. And trust me, it wasn't even that close. Not even close to that close. San Diego State now, Billy Ray, has to go on the road and play at New Mexico. They've got to come home and play against Air Force, and they've got kind of a long layoff in between the game at New Mexico this week, which is Wednesday, and then it's not until, I want to say, like the following Saturday. I mean, they've got like a long stretch for some reason. Talk to Coach Fisher about that in a second. And then on the road at Boise State, regular season in the books, Mountain West Conference tournament coming, and then off to the NCAA tournament. So, all of that being said, and we welcome him back to the show. Aztec fans, always happy to have Coach Steve Fisher on Scott and BR on the Mighty 1090. Good afternoon, Coach.
Hey, Scott, BR. Happy to be with you.
How are we doing today?
Everything's pretty good. Just finished practice and got everybody moving towards good health, and we'll see how we fare on Wednesday.
Yeah, we talked to Thames late last week, and he said that he's about as healthy as he's been in at least the last few weeks, been practicing more in the last couple of days. So, I mean, that kind of gets back to your whole thought last week, Coach, about plugging holes before the ship goes down, and having Thames back healthy really helps, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and it does no good to complain when you don't have them, but it sure helps to have him back. And what he has been able to do, starting last week, Wednesday and Thursday after our Tuesday game with Wyoming, he's been able to practice other than just doing a lot dummy stuff and with no defense. He's been able to practice live, and that, I think, has been an asset to him. He was a little better with his flow and his quickness on Saturday, and I do believe that will continue to grow as he is able to participate in 5-on-5.
Coach, as far as the Nevada game, I mean, give me your opinion. I think they played one of their better games of the year.
We did. We were really good at both ends of the floor, the first half especially. We guarded them, and we were so very efficient offensively. We had, for the game, 32 field goals, and we had 23 assists, I believe, which is incredible. So we shared the ball, and we made shots. And our defense has been solid all year. Sometimes it's been really good, but it's been solid all year, and it continued to be that. Nevada is an explosive offensive team, and they have a couple of guys, Malik Story, for one, who can score against anybody, and he got hot against us, wound up with 33 points for the game. So we played a team that played very well against us and still controlled almost the whole game.
Mm-hmm. Talking to Coach Steve Fisher, Aztecs head coach. Aztecs playing at New Mexico Wednesday. And then, Coach, kind of a long layoff before you come home to play Air Force. What's going on there in the schedule?
Everybody has a bye. Ours is before we play Air Force. So we play New Mexico on Wednesday, and we don't play again until the following Wednesday. But everybody goes through it. Air Force just had theirs last week, and so it's just with the number of teams in the league, everybody gets a bye week, and this is ours. So
everybody always tries to figure out, is the bye good or bad? Right. Like when they look at the schedule and they try, and you probably look at the schedule at the beginning of the year and go, I don't want to buy that late. But Coach, now that we're here, maybe this bye comes at the exact perfect time for you.
We got to make it work. We have to make it. It will give us another week to get a little bit more healthy, specifically with James Rahan and Xavier Thames. We'll give them probably a second day off, and then we'll have a day where all we work on is San Diego State, and then we'll give ourselves 3 days to prepare for Air Force, who will be coming in, hoping that they can still get themselves an NCAA tournament berth. So it's very, very competitive, except right now at the top. I'm somewhat surprised that we look at New Mexico sitting 2 games ahead of Colorado State and 3 games ahead of the field, the rest of us. But they have played really good basketball. They've won a lot of close games, and they're probably going to win the league.
All right, Coach Steve Fisher with us on Scott and BR on the Mighty 1090. Coach, can you tell us what the status of Rayhan is?
He, as you know, I think we talked, he hurt his shoulder the first play of the game against Vegas. Had not done anything. Today he dressed out, did all the non-contact stuff, and I was a little reluctant to get him into live stuff because his shoulder is still sore. But I was very encouraged that he could he could shoot. If you didn't know any better, you'd say he should be able to play, but his shoulder is still sore. So tomorrow we'll probably put him in a little bit of live stuff with the hope of being able to play him on Wednesday or something.
Coach, when you look back to the first game that you guys played this year against New Mexico, you guys beat them 55-34. I mean, they've only lost 4 games all year. This obviously was one of them here at Viejas, but 34 points. When you think back to that game, what did you guys do defensively that shut them down? And is that the automatic blueprint going into this game Wednesday?
I would say, Scott, several things. One, we had them at home, and our crowd was absolutely sensational. We guarded and we gave them a minimal number of easy baskets. They love to run. They run better at home than on the road, but they score as many or more points than anybody in the league out of transition. And we limited what they got out of transition. We took care of the ball, so we didn't give them a lot of layups off of turnovers, and they beat you to death off of that. And then they missed some shots that they have been making, and all that mixed together gives them the fewest points that they've had since the three-point era and the shot clock era, and I'm sure they'll have that number up all over their locker room, 34, to remind their team that they only scored 34 points against us. But they're a good team, but we were significantly better when we had them here.
Coach, we had Dwayne Poley on the show last week and immediately fell in love with him because he just has a great attitude. Comes out and really has only 9 minutes on the floor. Any particular reason? Was it his health? Was it his just didn't look like he was going to have a big night, or why was he so limited?
Well, he had 2 segments, and sometimes when you're sitting at that 8 slot, if you don't perform, the minutes are limited. So we love Dwayne. He'll get an opportunity against New Mexico, but his time might be 7, 8, 6, 10, and if he has a game like he did against Wyoming, then he'll get extended minutes. I think he knows that he's got to come out and he's got to play and play well, and if he does, he'll get more minutes.
Talking to Coach Fisher, hey, Coach, it's interesting that Billy Ray brings up Poley because about 2 weeks ago we asked you about not going deep into the bench. And I don't remember exactly who it was that you guys had played, but you said, I probably am going to go a bit deeper into my bench. And you mentioned Dwayne Poley to us. And then he winds up coming out and having this 16-point game. And we had him on. And when you look at his high school career and all the accolades, LA City Player of the Year, California State Basketball Player of the Year, goes to St. John's and starts 27 of 33 games, you're thinking to yourself, this guy must have some kind of an ego thing as to why he's not playing. We talked to him. And I was like, either this guy's the greatest liar we've ever spoken to, or this is the most humble guy we've ever spoken to. Start asking other guys on the team. They say, no, that's really him. That's how humble he is. Is it surprising to you that a kid with his sort of pedigree doesn't have more attitude?
It does, Scott. And you both have been in locker rooms of guys that think they're better than they are, and they let everybody know it. When they sulk when they're not playing, they complain to everybody. Dwayne is just the opposite, and I've made that point to our team. I've tried to make that point publicly. I was so happy for him when he had the game that he did against Wyoming. You would have to be with us to truly appreciate the way he has managed himself in the midst of what I'm sure he would say if he admitted it to his mom and dad. He's disappointed he's not playing more. He has to be, but he has worked so hard, which is why I believe that if you stay with it, and I have no reason to think that he won't, that Dwayne, his time will come when he doesn't have to play great to stay in, that he's going to get the minutes, and eventually, hopefully for him and us, he will become the player that everybody expects him to be.
Yeah, because we asked him.
Great young guy. He is what I'm sure you felt and heard on your station.
Coach, we asked him, we're like, but wait a second. With your background and with the way you played as a freshman at St. John's in the Big East, why are you not, kind of more publicly upset? You know what he said? He said, I've been playing with great talent my entire career. And he pretty much said to us, look, you got a lot of guys on this team that are seniors, have been around longer, have more experience, and it's their time, not my time quite yet. And I'm just like, wow, this is not a player of 2013 with the kind of credentials that this kid has. I just hope the guy becomes the star that I think he can be.
I do too. Obviously for all sorts of reasons, but I put number one reason because of Dwayne Polee being who he is, and he's just a tremendous young guy that I do think that if others would look and say, boy, if I can be half the man managing myself the way Dwayne has in the midst of a bit of disappointment, adversity, whatever you would want to call it, then I'm going to prosper. And I know that that's going to be the case for Dwayne.
Yeah, but interesting. When you're a backup player, you get your shot. You either go in and make something happen, otherwise you're just kind of giving somebody else a chance to rest.
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens, and then all of a sudden you burst on the forefront. Now you know that you're going to have more opportunity, and sometimes that allows you to play a little more relaxed also.
All right, Coach, before you go, did you watch the Oscars last night?
You know what? I did.
And of the movies nominated for Best Picture, had you seen any of them?
I have not seen any of them.
Not one movie?
Not one.
Not Lincoln?
I haven't seen it. No, I haven't seen any of them.
None of them.
Not Life of Pi.
Right.
But I intend to, and I'm hoping some of them are still in the theater when the season's over. So it's hard for me right now to get to too many movies.
No, I understand. I get it. But it's always interesting, like when you don't see the movies, why you choose to watch the Oscars. Any particular reason? Or was it Mrs. Fisher saying, sit down, you're watching the Oscars with me?
It was a little bit of both. I was interested. We have a son who was a USC film school major, and he's very interested in that industry. So we watched it with great interest, and help me with the female actress that won, who won the Best Actress award?
Who won?
22-year-old girl.
The girl who won.
Jennifer.
Lawrence? Is that the girl who tripped going up the stairs?
Yes.
Yes.
You don't know her name either. You
No.
can't remember her name either.
No.
But I don't know if you watched. I got in. I was watching. I enjoyed it. So we flipped to CNN afterwards and watched the after awards. When they got up in front of the media and the media is asking him all these questions, and I grew exponentially in my respect for sports journalists and the questions that they ask. Because, sometimes you think even some of these sports guys, not you guys, some really foolish questions.
Right.
They asked this young gal so many dumb questions. I couldn't believe how well she handled it.
Well,
the first of which was, do you regret that you won at this young age, thinking that it might,
Oh, really?
you might flame out and burn? And I mean, it's mind-boggling, some of the questions that are asked.
Well, then you must have missed the pre-red carpet show, because this is
I didn't see that, no.
they only have two questions. Two questions, and they go like this: who are you wearing?
Right.
Okay. And when the answer is whatever the designer is, most of America goes, okay, I've never heard of it. I don't know why you asked the question. And then the second question is, and who are you looking forward to seeing here tonight? Those are the only two questions they ask on the red carpet.
Unless they ask about the jewelry, too.
Right.
Because they'll go dress and then jewelry sometimes.
So stupid.
Yeah.
God, it's unbelievable.
Right.
Well, anyway, Coach, I would highly urge you to check out Argo. That's one that I saw that obviously won for Best Picture. Billy Ray, you saw that.
I did, and I also recommend it.
Zero Dark 30 is amazing. I haven't seen Lincoln. Billy Ray, you've seen everything. Lincoln, Silver Lining
A little
Playbook,
time on my hands.
Life
man.
of
What can I
Pi.
tell you?
Silver Lining Playbook is the one that we're having all the people our age say that we would love to see. So that's probably going to be first on our agenda.
All right, Silver Lining Playbook it is. Coach, a pleasure as always. Thank you. Congratulations on the huge comeback home wins. When I say comeback,
let us know about how you like the movie.
Yeah,
too.
right.
Got to make sure you do that.
Comeback after 2 road losses, the whole deal.
Well,
Coach,
I hope I have a good movie to watch on my way home from New Mexico. That's what I hope.
There you
That's
go.
a replay of our game with New Mexico.
There you go. Right on.
Get her done.
Coach, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you later in the week.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, man.
All right. Coach Steve Fisher checking in.
I love that, man.